Hello, in this video I am gonna show you how to enable developer options on Samsung Galaxy A17, and I'll show you the best tweaks that you can do in the developer options. Okay, so first let's go to settings. Then in the main page of settings, you can see I already have developer options. So I'll quickly disable them so I can show you how to enable them. Now you can see I have disabled them. So if I go back now, they have disappeared. But to enable them, just go to About Phone, then scroll down to Software Information and find build number. Click on it about 7 times. Then it'll ask you for your screen lock. I'll enter my current PIN, click on Continue, and click on OK. Now developer mode has been enabled. Let's go back to the main page of settings and scroll a little bit down. At the very bottom, there are developer options. Now there are gonna be a few things here. So you can see I have it now enabled, and you can see different options. And well, there's lots of different things. For example, grammatical genre. So if you want, you can change the grammatical gender. So this is how you're gonna be addressed by the phone, and also this is how your keyboard is if you are using a language that has gendered words, not like English, but more like Spanish, for example, then it'll suggest like the correct form. So you can go to grammatical gender and you can set it to neuter, feminine, or masculine. So that's a really great thing if you want. Now there are gonna be a few other things. Let's scroll down a little bit until we find another thing. Which is gonna be here, Wi-Fi scan throttling. And if it's enabled, it saves the battery life, which is great, but sometimes sometimes it may have some problems with automatically connecting to Wi-Fi networks without your input, just automatically when it discovers a network. If Wi-Fi scan throttling is enabled, then it'll do it less frequently. It'll scan for available Wi-Fi networks, and that may cause your phone to take a moment until it connects to a nearby network if it's doing it automatically. So we can disable that if you want, but remember, it will drain your battery, so just see if it works properly for you, and only disable it if you actually have a problem with like your Wi-Fi, for example, not connecting automatically when you arrive home. Now the next thing is Wi-Fi non-persistent MAC randomization, and the MAC address is your physical network card address on your phone, and if you enable this option, it's gonna randomize your MAC address. So it is useful in cases like, for example, if you're connecting to some public networks that have a limit of data that you can use, because sometimes in cafes or places like that, it will like there's a limit that every device can, for example, use 1 GB of data. And if you want to bypass that limit, you can enable non-persistent MAC randomization. Then when you reach the limit, you can simply disconnect from the Wi-Fi network at that cafe or anywhere else and reconnect. Also, if there's a time limit, it'll work as well. And in cases when you are blocked on a certain network, for example, like, I don't know, I had a situation where one of my friends tried to prank me and blocked my MAC address on their Wi-Fi network, and I couldn't use their Wi-Fi. So what I did is, instead of, just stopping that prank, I just enabled MAC randomization, and when I have a problem, I disconnect from the network, reconnect to it, and I can use it. Now there are gonna be a few other things here, like when you scroll down a little bit, there is gonna be a very common thing, show tabs. If you want, you can enable it. Now you can see, you probably can see it, it's under my finger. Now whenever I tap, it shows the tab in the place where I tap. Some people like it, and also it is useful if you're recording a video, like a screen recording on your phone. Then you know it's gonna show that. Okay, now let's get to the next thing. It's gonna be animation scale. I think this is the most common thing to change in the developer options. You can change the window animation scale, and let's set it to, you can set it to a higher value, but you can see when I set it to that, all these three can be set. You can see now how long the animations take, and probably you don't need it at scale 10x unless you're doing like something very uncommon on your phone that requires those animations, or you're like a very big fan of animations. You can see now everything takes like a lot of time. For example, like, yes, some things, maybe if I change the transition animation scale as well, then you're gonna see the difference. Yeah. So this is how it works. Now we can change the window animation scale to actually smaller than 1x. You can set it to 0.5, and now set everything to 0.5, and you'll see that your phone appears faster. Doing anything on your phone is faster. You can also actually disable animations. This is a bit too extreme for me because I actually prefer animations, but you can see now everything happens instantly without any animation. But I'm gonna switch back to 0.5 because I'm not really a big fan of the animations off. Now minimum width. And here you need to be careful with this setting because you can manually enter a value here. So first of all, remember what is the default value. In my case, it's 360, but in your case, it may be a little bit different. It depends on your other settings on the phone, but remember that value, because when you change it, changing it gets useful, especially if you're like me, who like has a very good vision, and the like smallest setting on the phone for the screen size, so all the elements on the screen are still too big for me. I can manually enter a higher value than 360 here, like for example 500. I went a bit extreme here, but you can see now elements on the screen are smaller. So this is what it does. But as I said, be careful with that, because if you set it to like something very extreme, like 1000, then you may like your phone may be unusable in that mode. But yeah, sometimes even on some like bigger phones, I set it to 650. Then it looks basically like a tablet screen, but minimized. But I personally like it. You can also set it to actually something smaller than 360, like for example 320, and it's gonna have bigger elements on the screen than by default. And yeah, you can change it to whatever. I'm gonna go back to the default setting, and now there's gonna be a transparent navigation bar. This is a cool feature. You can see it makes, I don't know if you can see it. I personally don't, but maybe in some cases it will be actually transparent. I'm not really sure. Maybe it just doesn't work here. Maybe in some other apps it'll work. Just the navigation bar will be transparent. Now I should technically also be able to find a certain mode that I haven't seen in a really long time. So I may not be able to find it. Maybe it doesn't exist anymore, but I just reminded myself that there is something like this. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna find it and get back to you. Okay, I think I need to first go back and actually enable the navigation bar, because this option is gonna only work for those that use the navigation bar instead of these three buttons. So we can go to the settings, then go to display and find navigation bar, then set it to swipe gestures. I have no idea why it asked me for that. Let's cancel that. What? Okay, I get it now. I need to switch it. Yeah, I just didn't read it. Yeah, now I have the navigation bar. It should update shortly, yeah. And now if I go back like that, you can see as I'm going back, it doesn't show like where I'm going. If you don't get what I'm saying, you'll see if I go to the developer options. Let's actually search for that setting, predict. It's gonna be predictive, and we should have predictive back animations. Yeah, it doesn't help. So I'll need to find it myself. I don't remember like how low I should go for the predictive back animations. But this is a really cool feature. I really like it. Maybe, by the way, this is how the transparent navigation bar is gonna work now with the bar. No, never mind. I just really want to find this predictive back animations, because it's a really cool feature, but I can't seem to find it for some reason. Okay, I just learned that it doesn't work on this phone, unfortunately, because like on other phones, you can like when you're sliding like that, it'll actually sort of show you like what's gonna be, like what screen is gonna be when you go back. But yeah, that option is unavailable here, unfortunately. So yeah. So I hope that the things that I've shown you were helpful, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.